economic data in the last quarter showed that the economy was slowing. I think that this summer event and series of events is going to have a very dramatic impact on national economic productivity, but of course we won't see those numbers play out until the end of the quarter, although I'm sure that the government is monitoring on a month-by-month basis. But yes, there's a real disincentive. People are staying at home, they've got to evacuate, cost to local economies are high, so this is a really big question.
Now, we did touch on the government before. In a sense, do you think that there's been any mistakes made, I should say rather, by the government in their whole process when it comes to this bushfire season? Because a lot of people have been saying the preparedness for this season wasn't at all adequate. What do you make of the processes that took place?
I think we need to be really careful here. We must remember that the Australian federal or national or Commonwealth government led by Prime Minister Scott Morrison actually doesn't have a role largely to play in the actual fighting of any natural hazard or disaster events at the local level. The responsibility is devolved to our state and territory governments. I would like to distinguish between those two levels of governments and say at the state level, individual state and territory governments and their emergency services have been doing a fantastic job, an extraordinary job in difficult circumstances with both a paid and volunteer workforce. The issue that is at play is whether or not the federal government has lent an appropriate hand in preparing communities and supporting state governments and territories in the run-up to the summer season. Now, the truth is, emergency service experts have been calling for months for a national dialogue on the best way to prepare, and for a variety of reasons, the federal government under Morrison said, not today, we'll put off the conversation to another time. And that's coming back to, I'm afraid, really play back in a bad way, and it's not looking very good for the federal government. To be perfectly honest, I think the Prime Minister should fall and that we should see a change in leadership.
Do you think as well there should be perhaps a Royal Commission? The Greens leader has been calling for this into the bushfire response. Do you think that's something that's necessary?
I think it's inevitable. At the end of this crisis, which will go on for weeks more, there will need to be a period of reflection, and a commission of one form or another seems almost inevitable to understand what are the lessons that we're going to learn from this event.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now, to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.